The same day, the U.S. and Iran carried out another round of talks in Geneva falling short of a diplomatic deal. The top U.S. military commander in the Middle East briefing President Trump on potential military actions he could deploy. Though critics would say the president has not fully made the case for attacking Iran or what exactly the administration is trying to accomplish, the buildup of U.S. forces in the Middle East makes the stakes even higher. International correspondent Robert Sherman live in Tel Aviv. Robert, the U.S. is now urging Americans to leave Israel as soon as possible. Is this the closest we have been to some sort of action against Iran?
I mean, to put this into context, Nichole, you just don't see guidance like that coming down from the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem very often. The last time we saw anything like this in which such a security warning was issued here, you have to go back to the 12 Days War between Israel and Iran last year. This is the guidance that the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem just handed down today. I want to read part of it for you. In response to security incidents and without advance notice, the U.S. Embassy may further restrict or prohibit U.S. government employees and their family members from traveling to certain areas of Israel, the Old City or Jerusalem, and the West Bank. Persons may wish to consider leaving Israel while commercial flights are available. Non-emergency staff members at the embassy there have been given the blessing by the State Department to leave Israel with their families, with the message being, if you are going to go as soon as you possibly can. This, as you see more firepower pouring into the region, with the USS Gerald Ford arriving here in the Middle East today. It had just left Greece yesterday and is now in Israeli waters here. This now puts 2 aircraft carriers here for the United States within this region as more and more firepower continues to be built here. But as you watch, as all of this continues to happen, well, Vice President J.D. Vance is emphasizing that this is not going to descend in an all-out forever war. This is what he said. No chance that the U.S. will be in a drawn-out war in the Middle East. That's what he said to the Washington Post there. Going on to say that they will ensure that Iran isn't going to get a nuclear weapon, and they intend and hope to solve all of this diplomatically. That being said, we have just learned today that Secretary of State Marco Rubio is supposed to be here in Israel early next week to have conversations with the Israeli government to talk about the situation here in the Middle East. That is part of the diplomacy aspect that is still ongoing. All options, however, remain on the table, according to the White House. They're preparing for the possibility of an escalation if necessary.
All right, so the VP, Robert Vance, is set to meet with Oman's foreign minister. What can we expect there?
Well, it's important to note here that Oman has played this key mediating role between Iran and the United States in recent weeks here. We've seen the talks that have taken place in Muscat. You saw Oman's foreign minister pictured here with Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. This is in Geneva, Switzerland. The perspective that has come from the mediating entity, which is Oman, is that they believe that these talks have been progressing here. I do want to read the Iranian perspective on all of this. This is what their foreign minister had to say. Regarding some issues, there is now an understanding, and on others, it's natural that we have differences. However, there was perhaps more seriousness on both sides than before, with the aim of reaching a negotiated solution. Iran says there are supposed to be more talks that will take place next week in Vienna. We have not heard that confirmation from the American side, but still that broad hope coming from the U.S. that diplomacy will ultimately prevail. Nichole.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.